6:45 a.m. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by J. Yogaraj and read by Mario Vijayavardhana. The headlines. The President says discipline is one of the most important aspects in a military officer's life. The daily count of the new coronavirus cases hit 551 yesterday. Sri Lanka and the UAE to enhance security, trade and economic cooperation. Doctors to strike in several districts today. The government has plans to appoint 341 new assistant press officials from the recently recruited graduate trainees with the objective of promoting development news in the media. The Health Minister has taken measures to make the vaccination card mandatory. In news overseas, in COVID news, Christmas travel will fuel spread of Omicron, US expert warns. In sports news, Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel not postponing games over COVID-19 is a safety risk. Discipline of the highest degree is one of the most important aspects in a military officer's life, says President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. Optimism, self-belief and confidence in yourself and those in your teams will be at the heart of your success, he said, while participating at the 96th commissioning parade of the Sri Lanka Military Academy in Diatalava held yesterday. The attention you pay to simple tasks builds discipline, it fosters attention to detail, and it provides a sense of accomplishment, no matter how small, as you start your day. There will be many situations in your life where no matter how capable or skilled you are as an individual, you will not be able to succeed without the support of others, the President further said. Someday, one of you may even become the commander of the army and be responsible for the entire organization and all the people in it. As you start on this journey, you must understand that the soldiers under your command are ordinary people and not supermen. It is your responsibility to ensure that you get outstanding results from such normal people, President Rajapaksa added. The President pointed out that setbacks are part of the journey and the leader should be able to face them successfully and make bold decisions. President Rajapaksa, upon arrival, paid floral tributes to the fallen heroes at the Monument of Peace and observed the commissioning parade. The Health Ministry reports that another 121 persons have tested positive for COVID-19, increasing the total count of new cases to 551. Sri Lanka's tally of confirmed COVID-19 positive cases climbs to 579,685. With this, while 7,607 infected patients are currently undergoing treatment island-wide. The Minister of State in the United Arab Emirates, Ahmed Ali Al-Sayegh, has met with Sri Lanka's Minister of Public Security, Sarath Weerasekara, to discuss a number of issues of common concern, foreign media reports. During the meeting, which was held at the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation in Abu Dhabi, the parties discussed bilateral relations between the UAE and Sri Lanka and ways to further boost friendship and cooperation ties across various sectors. The two sides also reviewed means to enhance security, trade and economic cooperation between the two countries. Al-Sayegh praised Sri Lanka's distinguished participation in Expo 2020 Dubai, stressing that this global event is an opportunity to discuss cooperation and build bridges of communication. He also welcomed the expected visit of the Sri Lankan Prime Minister to participate in the activities of his country's National Day ceremony, which will be held at the Expo. For his part, the Sri Lankan minister expressed his admiration for Expo 2020 Dubai and congratulated the UAE for the remarkable organization of this global event. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The Government Medical Officers Association (GMOA) is scheduled to launch a one-day strike action at hospitals in several districts with effect from 8 a.m. today. The strike action will be carried out at the government hospitals located in the Ratnapura, Polonnaruwa, Nuwara Eliya, Mana and Trincomalee districts. The GMOA warns that the one-day strike could affect COVID-19 treatment processes at hospitals. The government has plans to appoint 341 new assistant press officials from the recently recruited graduate trainees. The new press officials will be appointed to all AGA offices island-wide. The Media Minister Dallas Alahaperuma said the officials will be responsible to deliver development programs launched in their respective divisions through the social media platforms. He added, many development activities are not properly covered by the main media streams. He said the newly appointed officials are instructed to promote development work conducted by the government in a constructive manner. The minister made these remarks at a workshop conducted for the media officials of the Government Information Department held in Kandy yesterday. The Health Minister has taken measures to make the vaccination card mandatory. The Health Ministry said the COVID vaccine card will be compulsory for people who visit public places from the 1st of January. The Ministry added the decision was taken to make the vaccine card compulsory due to people not adhering to COVID-19 health guidelines and acting unwisely. The Ministry said people should keep the COVID vaccine card with them or should keep a copy of the digital vaccine card with the QR code from this date. That's local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
Health authorities warn that although the present Omicron variant is not severe, there is always a possibility of the development of a super variant via different forms. Therefore, health officials request the general public to be cautious and vigilant during the festive season. The public is requested to follow the health guidelines strictly for the next 2 weeks and to avoid large gatherings or entertainment. The public is also requested to avoid long-distance travel and travelling between provinces.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Veda Mahatmya.
And now in Watchlight, the health authorities have requested the public to follow the health guidelines strictly as the coronavirus infections crossed the 700 mark for the last few weeks. The Director General of Health Services, Dr. Asela Gunawardana, said that it is a high risk for the public to get involved with large gatherings or get-togethers. He requests the public to refrain from travelling between provinces. He points out that 600 to 750 coronavirus patients are still being reported daily from the country. Therefore, he emphasises that the pandemic can spread rapidly again if the public acts irresponsibly.
Coming up, World News.
In world news headlines, COVID Christmas travel will fuel spread of Omicron, US expert warns. Australia, bouncy castle falls, 6th child dies in hospital. Hong Kong Legco vote after electoral overhaul sees record low turnout. Christmas travel will increase the spread of the Omicron COVID-19 variant even among the fully vaccinated, the top US infectious diseases expert says. There's no doubt about this. Omicron has an extraordinary capability of spreading, Dr. Anthony Fauci told NBC's Meet the Press program yesterday. Dr. Fauci, who advises the US government on the pandemic, said the variant was now raging through the world. Countries are tightening measures as the heavily mutated variant spreads. A 6th child has died from injuries suffered in a bouncy castle accident in Australia last week, police say. Chase Harrison, 11, had his life support switched off at a Hobart hospital on Sunday, 3 days after the accident. He was among 9 students who fell 10 meters from an inflatable castle when it was lifted up by wind at a school fair in Devonport, Tasmania. 2 children remain in a critical condition in hospital. A record low turnout has been registered in Hong Kong's Legislative Council election, the first since China made sweeping changes. Only 30.2% of voters took part, officials said the lowest in Hong Kong's election history. A controversial Patriots resolution approved in March allowed Beijing to vet every candidate. Hong Kong officials argue it is needed to ensure stability, but critics say it has weakened democracy in the city. And now the main points of the world news segment once again. COVID Christmas travel will fuel spread of Omicron, US expert warns. Australia bouncy castle falls, sixth child dies in hospital. Hong Kong Legco vote after electoral overhaul sees record low turnout. That was World News.
Development News is brought to you by Let's take all out of the coconut tree and make the island thriving and prosperous. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
The Sri Lanka Nanotech Institute presents a new plan to introduce a novel fertilizer variety combined with compost and nitrogen substances. The preliminary test run on this project is being carried out by the Paddy Research Institute at Bathalagoda.
Development News was brought to you by the coconut tree is well grown in almost all the parts of the island. It is an exceptional source of extra income. The shell, the husk and almost all the parts of the coconut tree makes you money, providing you with an excellent extra source of income. It will also help to nourish the economy of the country. You will be guided with all necessary informations regarding the coconut cultivation, with the novel cultivation techniques and all other related and upgraded informations by the Coconut Research Institute, Lunavilla. Call our hotline 1928. WhatsApp 070 400 1928.
Moving on with sports news.
In soccer, Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel says player safety is at risk after his side were made to play their Premier League game against Wolverhampton Wanderers on Sunday despite a COVID-19 outbreak. Tuchel's side had requests for the fixture to be postponed after reporting several positive cases at the club. Chelsea had just 4 outfield players on the bench as they drew 0 with Wolves.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners. From October 1st, 2021 to September 30th, 2022. Remit a minimum of $100 or an equivalent amount in any foreign currency through NSB U-Trust for 6 months consecutively. Send more money and increase the chances of winning.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
The National Chamber of Exporters is to send the largest international business delegation from Sri Lanka to the Dubai Expo in the coming months. The Chamber targets to send 60 companies, with over 47 companies already signed up. They believe this to be the largest delegation ever sent from Sri Lanka. Arrangements have been made to send sample products through a container provided by MSC Holdings. Interested parties should contact the Chamber for more information.
Business News, sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Cash through NSB globally and win wonderful gifts locally. Will you be the lucky winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee? 50 gold sovereigns for the top prize winner of the NSB Golden Jubilee. Scooters for the 10 second prize winners. iPhones for the 10 third prize winners. Mountain bikes for the 29 fourth prize winners.
Economic news, courtesy of...
I bought my daughter a laptop for her work by managing my finances. Whatever the expenses may be, I can't afford to miss out on life's special moments like her birthday or our anniversary. So you need to invest to make your family's future flourish.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibilities. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act No. 42 of 2011.
The Tokyo Cement Group recently commissioned operations at the newly expanded capacity of the Tokyo Cement Colombo Port Terminal in a soft opening ceremony. The event is a culmination of a 2.5 billion rupee worth investment by the cement giant. This operation's expansion further reiterates the company's commitment to boost the local economy as a truly Sri Lankan organization.
Saving money isn't easy when you have responsibility. That's why we promise to give you the best returns and guarantee on your investment. LOLC Finance Fixed Deposits. Maximize your savings. LOLC Finance PLC, incorporated on the 13th of December 2001, is rated SLA stable by ICRA Lanka Limited and is licensed by the Monetary Board of the Central Bank of Sri Lanka under the Finance Business Act number 42 of 2011.
The Weather Report.
The Met Department says the northeast monsoon is gradually establishing over the island. Showers will occur at times in the eastern, northern, north-central and the Uva provinces and in the Hambantota and Matale districts. Fairly heavy rainfall above 50 millimeters can be expected at some places in these areas. Showers or thundershowers will occur at several places in the western, Sabaragamu and the northwestern provinces and in the Kandy, Nuwara Eliya, Gala and Matara districts during the evening or night. Fairly heavy rainfall above 75 millimeters can be expected at some places in these areas. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the western and the Sabaragamu provinces and in the Gala and Matara districts during the morning. The weather report was issued this morning at 4:30 a.m. Further details could be obtained by visiting the official website of the department. Meanwhile, the international weather forecast website AccuWeather.com reports that the day's weather will be bright with occasional showers. Today's daytime temperature would be around 31 degrees Celsius. There will be light showers in many places in the Colombo district in the night. Tonight's temperature will be around 24 degrees Celsius and there will be scattered showers in select spots late in the night. The ground temperature would be 25 degrees Celsius at the time of this news broadcast. The air quality index is 29, which shows a fair condition in Colombo. The air quality is generally acceptable for most individuals. However, sensitive groups may experience minor to moderate symptoms from long-term exposure. And now the headlines of this news broadcast once again. The President says discipline is one of the most important aspects in a military officer's life. The daily count of the new coronavirus cases hit 551 yesterday. Sri Lanka and the UAE to enhance security, trade and economic cooperation. Doctors to strike in several districts today. The government has plans to appoint 341 new assistant press officials from the recently recruited graduate trainees with the objective of promoting development news in the media. The Health Minister has taken measures to make the vaccination card mandatory. In news overseas, in COVID, Christmas travel will fuel spread of Omicron, US expert warns. In sports news, Chelsea boss Thomas Tuchel not postponing games over COVID-19 is a safety risk. That concludes this news broadcast.